What's going on YouTube? Welcome to episode 153 of the U.S.S. Enterprise D tutorial. I'm Zero Elite and I just want to thank you very much for tuning in today's episode. If you haven't, please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, helping me in supporting the channel. I can't thank you enough for that. And new subscribers, don't forget to hit notifications on. Also, be sure to check the Discord. I'll have a link in the description below. My poll on my next ship build has officially ended. So those of you that have been procrastinating, waiting for your chance to hop in there and vote, the poll has ended officially Sunday morning, and the winner is U.S.S. Voyager. We'll touch more on that in a few moments. Anyway, we've got about an 18-minute episode, so let's go ahead and jump right into it. We're in our mall on the Enterprise D, and we're going to start working on getting the base together to add our shops in. So basically what we're going to be doing here is, you see that gray line that we have, we're going to be using that as a base to determine where our ceiling is going to go in. So this is going to be very simple. We're just going to go across all four corners of the mall and repeat the same process. And I'm not building this directly above the gray line on the ceiling. I'm going one forward. So technically I'm building it off of the white line. But I'm going to start talking about some other things while this is going, because I can't really skip through this because we have some other things that will be getting done on the outside of the Enterprise D today. So yeah, Voyager is going to be the next ship build that we're going to be doing, and I'm actually really excited about this because Voyager has been actually my top build request on Minecraft next to the Enterprise D. So I'm really looking forward to getting into that. I've been having people ask me for quite some time, hey, when are you going to do Voyager? Well, guess what? That's the next build. So definitely keep an eye out for that. We do have some more content to get through on the Enterprise D before we're going to call this thing done. And unfortunately, we won't even be able to call it done. Those of you that missed the last couple of episodes, I had an issue when I got my new Xbox Series X, transferring over my save data, and I assumed everything would be good because I could save it through the cloud. I wouldn't have to worry about it, so I formatted my Xbox One X and to get rid of it. And when I went to load everything up on the new Xbox, I lost over 2 years of save content. So unfortunately, we're not going to be able to finish up on the Enterprise D. There's a lot of things I wanted to do. But out of the pre-recorded stuff that I've already done before this happened, I have a few more episodes to go before we can close this thing out. So we'll be wrapping up with episode 192 for the Enterprise D. Now, I don't know if I'm just going to let the Enterprise D run its course and just do that until it's finished, or whenever I finish the outside of Voyager, if I might start throwing that in too. I'm going to play that by ear. I'll give you guys more information as that comes. I'm not going to rush Voyager, but I'm in a good spot right now because I still have content from the Enterprise D that I can put out to give me a little bit of cushioning while I'm working on Voyager, so I still have stuff to get out there. There is a lot of other cool stuff that's going to be coming up on the channel, though. Eventually, we will be doing another ship build poll. I'm just not sure when exactly that's going to happen. Because I have some other ships that I wanted to do, but I felt that was really important to do a community poll to see what people wanted and to see if I can get people involved in it, and it's been a great success. But I'm not going to do this with every single build. I think I'm going to do a mixture of both, where I do polls and then I also have personal builds that I want to do. And there's a couple that I've had my eye on for a little while that I think I'm going to end up doing tutorials on. I won't mention what they are yet, but if you're on the Discord, then I've talked about it in the past and you probably know what I'm talking about. So more to come on that. Other stuff coming up on the channel that I'm really looking forward to. So we're on our journey to hit 1,000 subscribers. And once we hit 1,000, we've got the tutorial on the Star Trek Beyond Enterprise A refit that we'll be doing. And to get us ready for that, because we still have a little bit of ways to go before we hit 1,000, I had a 3D modeler design the ship based off my designs, and I actually had it printed out, and that ship's going to be here. By the time this video drops, I'll actually have it, and I'm really looking forward to that. I want to do something with that model when I get it. I might end up doing like a short series on how you can paint and decal a custom ship like that. I won't say that I'm an expert, but I've done enough models in my life that I feel very, very confident that I can do something like that. The only thing I'm kind of concerned with is how I'm going to record it. I thought about doing it from my phone, and that might be good enough quality, but I might end up doing some tests before that because I want to get the highest resolution out of it. And I say we'll play that one by ear. But I'm definitely going to be doing something with that. So we've got a couple of things coming up on the channel that I'm really, really looking forward to. I'm hoping that you guys are excited about it as much as I am. I'm not going to lie, though. I'm actually kind of happy that we're nearing our end with the run of the Enterprise D. And it sucks, too, because it's like a bittersweet thing because, you know, there was a lot more than I intended to do on this ship. And maybe it was for the best that this happened because I probably could have spent another year working on this easy before I even called it done. So, I mean, everything happens for a reason. I think the only really heartbreaking thing on it is that I'll never have access to this build again. And this was a pretty epic build. You know, I've had a lot of fond memories so far building the Enterprise D. It's taken up over a year and a half of my life building this ship out, and that's not getting on every day. I'm definitely not making that claim. This is in my spare time when I'm able to get on in between work where I can hop on and build. And you can start to throw together now how it can take a year and a half to build something like this. Somebody that's not working or they have an extended or incredible amount of free time on their hands, they could probably do this within a shorter period. But when you consider that, you know, at the end of the day, I've got a full-time job, I've got another side job that I do on top of the YouTube channel, I'm not always able to get on here and build. And then on top of that, I do these builds by myself. So that's definitely a big reason on why it takes a little bit of time to get these episodes out. But I mean, I don't know. I've talked about this in the last couple of episodes. I might do a poll or I might do a contest to have people submit a 5-minute video tour or between like a 5 and 7 minute video tour of the Enterprise D that I built based off the tutorial. And I think the most accurate one, I'll give them a huge kudos shout out, get them some exposure on the channel and on YouTube to new people. Maybe I'll promote their channel if they have one, but this might be a good way to be able to still do a tour of the Enterprise D, because I think that's the only thing that I'm really, really heartbroken about is that I can't even do a tour of this thing after the series is done like I normally have. So like once we get to episode 192, like that's you know, all she wrote for the Enterprise D. That's all the content that I have. Which brings me up to the next talking point. How am I going to do Voyager? Because, you know, I really don't want to run into this problem ever again. You know, this is not the first time that I've lost a save world. And I'm not kidding you guys. Enterprise D, I had probably 100 backups over a course of a period of a year and a half building. I just kept making more and more copies as I went. Just in case something like this happened, I was like, well, you know, I'll have, you know, 100 save copies. If something happens, like, you know, worst case scenario, I can at least get back something. And I wasn't expecting to lose that much of my work. So I think what I might end up doing, I'm really considering at this point doing my my future builds off the computer. There'll be a couple of advantages to doing this. I'll be able to be in a position to where I don't have to worry about losing my saves. I can save them onto my external hard drive and be done with it. I can take advantage of the ray tracing technology and show that off a little bit. There's a lot of things that I can do. Now, with that being said, I also plan to keep building in the same manner that I have in the past on the channel, and that's not using mods and building stuff so that anybody can do it. Now, this might, if I end up building on PC, this might open the door for me to do some builds with mods, which I think is probably pretty fair to say at this point. But again, I haven't 100% decided. Once I do, I'll let you guys know, but you really won't see a change in how I build my ships. If anything, I'll just have a special build here and there that has mods involved, and everything else will be exactly what you're used to. So anyway, we're going to be slightly transitioning over to a different part of the ship right now. We are going to make our way back into the mall, but we're going to be hopping on the outside to get some more detailing done on the ship. And I talked about this the last time that we were working on the outside and we were adding our trim, that I really needed to add this red trim the length of the Shuttle Bay. It looks better that way to me. Yeah, that looks so much better. But, this is what we're focusing on right now, that, we're looking for line work that we can bring out with, grays, reds, and blues. Because the Enterprise D does not have a lot of detail. We've got to figure out ways to bring this out. And the best thing to do with that is to look at your line work on your ship and look at those angles that you can bring out. Now, this block that I'm using right now, this isn't going to work. This actually would have been perfect if I could have thrown this down. I was a little aggravated that it changed into dirt. That would have been like a perfect impulse engine block, but we're going to switch to something else. This is off the Grid Pixel Pack. If you want this exact setup that I have, because the Grid Pixel Pack will run you like maybe $4, I think. But it'll be worth it because it'll give you access to a whole bunch of different blocks that you don't have access to in the regular version of Minecraft. But yeah, check that episode out. It's on the Cerritos series that I did. It's I forget which number it is, but it's the Grid Pixel Pack. I'm not even going to attempt to look for it right now while I'm doing today's episode. But it is in the U.S.S. Cerritos tutorial, and I have it labeled. It's U.S.S. Cerritos Grid Pixel Pack. Check that episode out because it tells you exactly what you need to do. Oh, I actually did find it. I can't believe it. Episode 53. So check out episode 53, U.S.S. Cerritos. That'll tell you exactly the order that you need to put your texture packs in so you can have the exact same texture pack that I have on the Enterprise D. Now that looks pretty good. That's not like, like a flat red. It has kind of like a pulsating look to it that I'm kind of looking to get out of my impulse engines here. I wish it was a little bit more of a red, but it doesn't look bad. It doesn't look bad at all. There we go. Now we just need to do the same thing on the left side. And then I think we're going to be adding some detailing going around our primary shuttle bay. Yeah, and see, and this is the other reason I wanted to change up that color, because now that we're adding in that red pinstripe, it's kind of important at this point to differentiate your impulse engines from this pinstripe. You don't want to build something where people are thinking, oh, this is an impulse engine, this is an impulse engine, this is an impulse engine. So to eliminate that, we're using a slightly different color. So this way there's no confusion that, no, this is just a pinstripe. So remember, again, we have to think outside the box, and it's important not to use the same colors, so this way things don't start to blend in together. But that looks great. Just that little bit of detail with the pinstripe, it really makes a difference. So just to try it out, now we're going to add some pinstriping going along the cargo bay doors, because again, this matches the design that we're going with, having that pinstripe going along the shuttle bay entrance. It would make sense to have that on the cargo one as well. Only downside is I think we're going to have to move down just a little bit here to be able to place it. Yeah, we got to move down like 2 blocks. So that's something to think about, that either we build right up off the gray line or we go 2 down. Now with that being said, the stripe off the secondary and tertiary shuttle bay doors is technically 3 blocks down if you count the block that it's built on. So we could maybe get away with doing that. That might be a thing. We'll just kind of let it sit for now. Now we're going to swap out these gray blocks for the stone slab. And this was something that I was saying I was going to do a while ago, because I want more of a solid gray color. What I don't like with the half slabs that I'm using, or that we're replacing, is that they have a once you have a row of them, it creates a grid, bunch of triangles with lined up with triangles, and I don't like that. I want one solid color piece. I didn't use this stone slab because I didn't want that dark of a gray. But it's kind of, as I've let it sit, I've just kind of decided that, you know what, I want a solid color. Because that's something that you really don't see on the Enterprise D. Like, even the beautiful Aztecing, when you watch Star Trek The Next Generation, even the high definition version of it, or the remaster, I forget what it's called, don't hold it against me, but the one that they redid, where they remastered the show, you really don't see the Aztecing. The Enterprise D, has that gray color, and you guys know why I didn't use the gray, because I wanted to be able to build the ship out, the structure of it seamlessly, and I just kind of decided at that point, it was better to do it in white. This way I didn't have a hodgepodge of colors, and it would have looked weird. Alright, so now we're going to be transitioning on into our shuttle bay, the primary shuttle bay. I thought we were going back in the mall, but no, it was the shuttle bay. And we're going to be adding in one layer into the roof. And when you go straight back in the dead center, we basically are 2 giant shuttle bay control rooms. We're going to be filling this in. And we're going to do that going all the way across. Alright. So I want to rewind this right here before we start it, because I want you guys to see why I'm making the decision to do this. So we look at the top of our saucer. It looks very plain. And this is going to go right into what I've been talking about last several episodes. Bringing out the lines of your ship to where you can have detail, but without really changing anything or adding anything to it. And what you can do is you look for lines that you can bring out to make them more prominent. So this way it brings a lot more character to your ship. So in looking at this area, this whole piece right here is very plain. So the first thing that I see like a couple of outlines. This outline right here, this has kind of already been brought out with the gray, maybe going along the outline here of the shuttle bay. But the problem with that is that once we get more towards the back here, it's going to kind of get lost within the hull line here. So this line right here, or this inner line, these are 2 great points to where you can convert them over to a different color, just the outline of it, to bring out a lot more detail. And I think that's what we're going to do here. We're just going to use the very center one, and we're going to line it in red, see how it looks. If you don't like the red, try a different color. You might surprise yourself doing this little trick. This is where I talk about, these lines, especially as you zoom out, you start to lose the beautiful line work that we've taken the time to build up with all of our cuts and having everything match up. I'm not trying to toot my own horn. I mean, I genuinely mean it. I think that this Enterprise is a very beautiful design. It looks awesome. And, we want to bring out some of that if we can, because we spent all this time working on it. We want to make it look as nice as we can. Yeah, and see, and that's money right there. It's adding a whole other dimension of detail that you kind of lose as you zoom out. We're not doing anything crazy. We're just replacing a row of half slabs with a red concrete block. We're just going to go right up to that gray line and cut it right there. But check that out. You can't tell me that doesn't look better. Looks a heck of a lot better than it did before. Just adding in that tiny bit of detailing makes all the difference in the world. Very, very subtle, but now looking at the top of the saucer, how it looked just a moment ago to how it looks right now, it looks a lot more detailed. And this is again exactly where I go into, where it's not one of these elements by themselves, but when you add in the blue pinstripe here along the primary shuttle bay and the registration, or maybe the shield emitters here on the sides, and then this red bit of detail, now we've got like a nice chunk of detail going along right here. And it looks absolutely fantastic. And what's also helping to bring the whole ship together is that we're keeping our design cues. We're transitioning them on to different areas of the ship. We're using our red pinstripe to detail other areas of the ship, so now it feels like it's an ongoing theme. So just having it in one place might look out of place to a degree. We've added it in a couple of different areas, here on the sides, going along just the top side of our primary impulse engines, the shuttle bays. We've got a red strip here going on the sides of our impulse or warp engines. That's exactly what I mean. And I think that definitely makes all the difference in the world. I think that's going to wrap us up today. I hope that I've explained this in a easy way to understand. Detailing your ships can be very simple if you don't overcomplicate it. It is basically the way what I'm trying to get across here. And I think that what we've accomplished here with the Enterprise D, it looks awesome. Anyway, I think that's going to wrap us up today. I know I've gone over 18 minutes with pausing the episode and talking about stuff. But I just want to thank you all again for tuning in today's episode. If you haven't, please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and helping me in supporting the channel. If you can help me out, share this video, comment, like, subscribe. I can't thank you enough for that. New subscribers, don't forget to hit notifications on so you get notified when those new videos drop. And speaking of new videos, come and catch my new Minecraft episodes dropping Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. If you have any questions regarding today's episode, be sure to drop a comment below. And yeah, I think that's going to do it. I hope everybody has a happy and safe week. And of course, what did you make in Minecraft today? Let me know in the comments section, and I'll catch you in the next episode.